Welcome to IMX. Today I want to talk about truth. What is true? This is for me the final analysis, the final question. This is the end game. We are now in the end game. To really discover what is true and actually be excited about that. Like to discover what is actually true beyond any thought, beyond any doubt. What is that which is true regardless of any circumstance, regardless of any experience? Wouldn't that be freedom? It's a cliche, but it's a cliche because it's true. The truth will set you free. So, what is true? What actually is true? This has been something that has lived in my heart for such a long time, and something that my mind has often hijacked. Okay, this is true, that is true. But it was never really a direct experience. And I believe that when we talk about truth, we can actually only talk about your direct experience. But then, what is direct experience? How can we directly experience that which is true? Because anything that the mind can come up with is just the interpretation of that truth. It might be that truth put into a concept, into a small box. But truth cannot be put in a box. You cannot limit truth. You cannot silence truth. You cannot defeat truth. Truth, it already is. That is the telltale sign of truth, that it has to be always true. Otherwise, it's not true. Something has to be true. It is true always, in any setting, in any case. And we can talk about relative truths as well, more about what resonates and what is in alignment. But today, let's dive deep and let's really uncover now what is true. And we can put all kinds of labels on it, which sometimes can help. They are like pointers. You can say truth is oneness, truth is existence, truth is undeniable, truth is, it just is. And we can say all of these things, and these things can actually help us enter that direct experience. But those pointers themselves, they are not the experience. So try to stay present with what is really true. What is something that has never left you? Something that no matter what the circumstances are, no matter if this body dies, if a atomic bomb is thrown on it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the truth. The truth just is. And are you also not that which is? Could we not say that that which is true is you? Not you as a concept, but you as a direct experience. You as being yourself, naked, free from concepts, free from ideas. When you take away everything, when you burn up everything that can be burned, everything that can be questioned, you are left, or you will be left, with the only thing that truly is you. I am. Existence. It's the only thing that no one can deny. Because anyone who would deny this, by their denying of it, would confirm it. And now I will show you why this is the greatest truth ever. People are like, oh yeah, I exist. What's the big deal? It is the biggest deal because that existence, if we define that existence as our source, everything must come from this source, and you cannot have two sources. Otherwise, where would this other source come from? They still must be a manifestation of a deeper source. And this deeper source, this which created this awareness, which has produced this awareness, which by itself already was this existence, that has to be one and it has to be unified. The same goes for if we define reality as infinity, which I would say it is, but that would be still an interpretation of it. But I believe you can experience this directly. You can experience right here, right in this moment, you can experience your one and infinite nature. All that you have to do is be aware, not of what you are, but that you are. And once you can see clearly as you can see your hand like this, and your hand is like gross, it's not that subtle. But you could say existence, we overlook it all the time, even though everything relies on this. We overlook it. It is, you could say, more subtle. It's even more subtle than space. You could say it's even more subtle than the sky, but it evidently is. And just by trusting that it is there and that it's the source of everything, you have not created your body. Everything that you see right here is a product of this source, of nature. You have created none of this. Even if you have created, you could say, something new or a painting, all that you used were still things that were created by something greater, a higher intelligence. And it's greatly liberating to surrender to this, that there is a creator, and actually this creator might be your true essence. But it's not this little body. That's not it. The source, existence, all that is, must be already all that is, because there can never be anything outside of it. It just is. And if you can understand this logic, or allow this logic to sink into your heart, not just to conceptually understand it, but actually understand it on a deeper level. Oh, everything is source. Everything is this oneness, expressing itself in a myriad of ways, but it doesn't matter how it appears. If we do the final analysis, the endgame, so to say, we will find out that it is. And what is the only thing that is? It is source. And anything that source has manifested itself in, it is still source. This is why I share IMX as the only things that you need to be aware of. The way to live your life from a simple, direct way, experiencing the absolute truth that you are. You cannot stop being. You cannot stop awareness. Even like I said before, if you would try and bomb it, throw an atomic bomb on awareness, it wouldn't be touched, because this awareness is like the screen of a movie. No matter what screen or different movie gets projected onto it, the screen is still untouched by all the projections on it. Same with you. You are still untouched. You're still, you could say, as clean as a whistle, and nothing has ever touched the true you. And the more often you recognize that you are, the more often you can see that this existence, this awareness, this I amness, this beingness, this is free from thoughts, from your body, from any perceived limitation. And you can see that. And the more clearly you recognize it, the more often you recognize it, the more you gain confidence in that this is just a dream, that this is just a movie that you're watching and that you cannot be hurt. And therefore you can sit back and actually enjoy the movie and still co-create if you wish to, but you don't have to go into the movie. You can play comfortably from sitting in the theater and knowing that nothing can hurt you, playing the game, playing the movie to the max, but actually deep down knowing that you're free. You're absolutely always already free. And this might actually be the best word to summarize truth with. Because when you say freedom, it is not this, it is not that. You cannot truly define freedom. It is just something that is, already as it is, free. And that is what you truly are. You are always already free. We limit ourselves with our mind, with our perceived ideas, but all of that is still happening within this wide open awareness in which your will is law. You get to choose, you get to decide your expression. And you've already prepared the most perfect expression for yourself for this game. All you have to do is stop resisting your natural expression, your natural calling. Keep recognizing that you are. Awaken yourself, awaken yourself. Remember, this is just a dream. And the more that you awaken yourself, the more that naturally that acts, that source frequency, that intention, your truest game, your most epic movie is being activated. And then it will be reflected back to you. Because that is what you choose. From this freedom, from this will, you choose to use this tapestry of vibrations, frequencies. You use it to form it to your intention, to your will. And all that you then ever need to do is just be aware that you are, I am that I am. And allow yourself to freely and naturally express your heart, your soul. And all else will fall into place. There is nothing you have to do. This is the subtle art of staying true. By remembering what is absolutely true, and then by what is relatively true. What is your truest game? What is your truest expression? What is your most epic movie? All of that is included within the way of IMX. And this is what I will be sharing more and more of on this channel. So please stay tuned. Ask any questions if you wish. You are co-creating this experience as well. Your choice matters. You weighing in helps to shift everything. So be responsible. Be a responsible creator in which again you are aware of the absolute truth, the freedom that is always here, and of your, you could say, your more relative truth, or the expression of that infinite freedom that you have. What would you do with infinite freedom? Wouldn't you create the most coolest, epic, truest, most loving story ever? Now, okay, let's do that. Let's stay true to that, no matter what.